Hey guys, Jeff here, and before we get to today's episode, I wanted to let you know about our Season 4 sponsor, Adventure is Out There Travel. If you're listening to this podcast, there's a pretty good chance that you're in the middle of planning your next Disney vacation right now. So why not make it easier for yourself? By working with an Adventure is Out There travel agent, you'll be having an experienced vacation planner doing the heavy lifting for you. Adventure is Out There Travel specializes in making sure your entire group gets to experience the type of activities they want in order to make your trip even more magical. Whether heading to a Walt Disney World vacation in Orlando, flying west to Disneyland, or floating on the high seas in a Disney cruise, Adventure is Out There Travel can help you plan the vacation of a lifetime. Visit adventureisouttheretravel.com for your free, no-obligation quote today. Now on with the show.
Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePauli.
And I'm Patrick Dougal.
And Patrick Dougal. Before we jump into today's news, I do want to mention, somebody wrote in, do you remember our short little mini-sode about the Muppet Basics? Where you kind of epically failed?
Do you remember the Marvel one?
I don't recall that one. No, I don't.
No one wants to recall that.
I don't remember that one. But see, somebody wrote in, let's see, the name was Josh. Josh, thanks for writing in. We actually got into a bit of a conversation about Ralph, the dog, and as to whether or not Ralph is a core Muppet, and I felt that Ralph is, and you felt he was not.
No.
Great little letter I got from Josh about this, and here's the explanation. Ralph was a core Muppet on the original Muppet Show, the dog playing the piano. Yes. And then, after Jim Henson's death, they decided to silence Ralph in honor of Jim. He was performed by Jim. So they No, they didn't put him to sleep. You idiot.
Oh.
They silenced him. So he was more of a background character at that time. So he was not a core Muppet until 2011 when he started speaking again in the Jason Segel film. But so he was originally a core Muppet, then became more of a background character since he didn't speak, and then is now back in the mainstream. So I thought that was a very interesting explanation. So thank you, Josh, very, very much for writing him. And you don't agree?
What? He was put to sleep.
No, he was not put to sleep. And I have a correction to make, unfortunately. Again, I'm actually really sad about this one because in the Little Mermaid episode I did with Tracy, we were talking about the voice actor who does the voice of Scuttle in that. I could have sworn it was D. Bradley Baker, and I'm 1,000% wrong.
No, he did the ride one.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Oh.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
Apparently he didn't. And I could have sworn. I'm pretty definite at a D23 panel, D. Bradley Baker broke into the Scuttle thing and said he did it on the ride. At least that's what I'm recalling. Perhaps I'm 1,000% wrong about that. But Max Mora wrote in, thank you, Max, to tell me it's Chris Edgerly doing the voice, not D. Bradley Baker. So I don't know why D. Bradley was doing the Scuttle voice at this D23 event that was talking about the ride. But now I'm slightly confused, but I did check this online and cross-check and everything. And
both of them?
Huh?
Both of them? Like World and...
Yeah.
Land.
That's what it was saying on online. So if anybody else has more information about this, please write in and let us know. But I'm assuming this is correct based on my search and Max's insight. So thanks. But let's get to the news. Here are the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines. There has been so much casting news lately.
Yep.
It's kind of insane how much there's been. But let's start with Mary Poppins Returns. We got an official announcement that Dick Van Dyke will be part of Mary Poppins Returns, which is very cool.
He's still alive.
Oh, what is
I'm just
wrong
saying there's a
with
lot
you?
There's a lot of Mary Poppins cast that is like, you better get this thing rolling.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I did have that thought when I heard this as well. Yes.
Because we have another one.
Patrick, you don't say that out loud.
This is the reality of the situation.
Oh, what is he, 90? 90 now? Yeah, he's 90. And even older. And I think that Dick Van Dyke let this slip. I don't think this was officially announced. Angela Lansbury will be in the film, which is awesome as well. But same note. I would
get the ball rolling.
Let's get this rolling. Actually, I love the quote from Dick Van Dyke. He goes, "So many cool people involved." He goes, "Meryl Streep, Angela Lansbury, and that guy from Hamilton."
Yep.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is his name, but that's a pretty epic cast. Is all I'm gonna say. I can't believe you said that. You crazy boy.
I'm correct.
Yeah.
However, there's even more casting news.
Yes.
Live action Dumbo, directed by Tim Burton. They're looking, which is a very surprising choice to me, Will Smith.
So this is not 1,000% confirmed.
No, they're both in
talks.
talks.
I find this interesting mostly because I don't know what this means.
I view it as a voice talent.
He's going to be the voice of Dumbo? The baby elephant?
Or Timothy?
Oh, okay. Huh.
We don't know.
We don't know. When I first heard
maybe he's
this,
just doing the motion capture work. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't.
The new Andy Serkis, Will Smith.
I don't. That's funny for film nerds. That's funny. I'm still a little confused as to what they're going to be doing with this live action Dumbo. Like, I would assume it's going to be a lot of computer animation. Mm-hmm. But when they say Will Smith, is he going to be a ringmaster? And that, I feel like Dumbo, of all of them, is going to stray from the original story.
No, oh, it's Tim Burton.
Yeah, it's Tim Burton. I actually never saw the Alice in Wonderland, so I don't really know.
Well, it's not even Alice. It's like a sequel to Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Will Smith, that's an interesting announcement, or unofficial announcement, I should say. But even more casting news. If you're familiar with the Broadway musical Aladdin, Adam Jacobs has left the show and is going on tour. The original Aladdin. He has been doing this for a long time. Since the workshops, since the workshops and everything. So he's going on tour. That's a pretty cool thing. We'll get to see him on tour here in LA. Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited. I'm hoping Jonathan Freeman goes on tour. The original,
they've been doing this a lot, where they've been pulling from Broadway shows, the cast, and throwing them on tour. I don't know if it's just maybe they want to go on tour, but recently. In Hamilton, the King will be joining the Hamilton tour, and that's why Taron Killam was added in. But I just think it's weird that they've been pulling the Broadway cast and throwing them on tour.
Yeah, I would imagine some of them are probably like, hey, I want to see the country.
Yeah, why not?
But speaking of Aladdin, James Monroe Iglehart and Hamilton, he's leaving Aladdin to do Hamilton. So that's kind of cool. A lot of cool casting stuff going on. What else is going on in the casting world?
There's a little thing called Tangled, the animated series and the movie, debuting.
The TV movie.
The TV movie, debuting March 10th, I believe.
For the movie?
Yes, March 10th. And we didn't know a date for the television series. We thought it'd be much later. However, it's 2 weeks after the movie, March 24th, which they released even more casting voice talent for that TV series, including the one and only Pat Carroll, who is the voice of Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
I'm busting at the seams about this news. This is great news. Pat, and I love how they just kind of
just throw it up.
And by the way, James Monroe Iglehart is doing voices in this as well,
as well as Jeremy Jordan.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of
Eden Espinosa.
There's a lot of Disney-esque and Broadway talent in this series.
Pat Carroll, guys. I honestly don't know what she's been up to. To me, Pat Carroll is Ursula.
Honestly, nothing. I've seen her at multiple conventions, just chilling.
So she's doing conventions.
Yeah, and I've interviewed her before. She's just yeah, I'm just kind of chilling.
Yeah, awesome.
So why not?
I love this. The thing that I can't picture her doing any voice other than Ursula.
I hope she's Mother Gothel returns somehow as a ghost. This is Pat Carroll, Mother Gothel ghost.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know.
Tons of casting news, exciting casting news, some interesting casting news, but that's what I got. Any other casting you got? I don't think so, right? I don't
think so.
Well, here's some good news.
Good news.
The Magic Kingdom Cabanas are going bye-bye. Although this is
Yes.
going to be very temporary very temporarily gone from what I understand. Supposedly this, it was February 17th that they went away, and this was planned. This was a test run. And from what I'm hearing, these are not going away officially. I'm hearing they're going to start going on rooftops.
Yes, at least in terms of parks, they're going away, which is like what I wanted. If they put them in hotel rooftops, I would be fine.
Oh,
with
no,
it.
I'm hearing like rooftops in parks.
Oh no,
That's what I'm hearing.
I've heard hotel rooftops.
Okay. Well, that's weird. Why would you want a private cabana in a hotel rooftop?
Why not?
If you already got a room with a balcony or something, like, I don't know. That I'm hearing like certain rooftops in the parks will be getting these for prime fireworks viewing.
If I can't see it,
You're okay with
I'm
it?
fine with it.
Okay. I wouldn't disagree with that. I think that that's fair. The price point that they tested at was $650. I think they did eventually end up dropping the price.
500
I think maybe 500 or
plus
550.
discount if you're like an annual pass holder. And all
Yeah,
that
so
stuff.
it was a test. They ran the test, and we'll see how it goes. But that is not the only change coming to the Magic Kingdom.
No, they introduced this new thing called Dine In on the Go.
I think it's just Dine on the Go, isn't
Is it?
Yeah, Dine on the Go.
Dine on the Go. It's a weird concept to me. It seems like a good idea if you're with like a large group and you're like maybe splitting up like with kids or something. Basically, you can prepay
That's
for
a good point, yeah.
prepay for a meal.
For 2 meals.
For 2 meals. $29 for adults. 13.
Super cheap for kids. It's like
like
$12.
Yeah, $12.
If your age is 3 to 9.
Which it's a good deal. It comes with 1 entree and 1 drink, no dessert. So it depends what items you pick. If you pick the most expensive like entree and drink, you're saving like $2 to $4.
Per meal? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, when I heard the price, I was like, doesn't sound like that great of a deal.
It's really not a super awesome deal, and if you choose like there's specific it's not anywhere. You can go to Pinocchio's Village House, Casey's Corner, Columbia House, and there's another one.
Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe.
There you go.
And then Pecos Bill's Tall Tale Inn and Cafe.
So in terms of what you get, if you go to Casey's Corner and get a hot dog and a drink, you're actually probably losing money. But I viewed it as like, if it sounds great if you're like a field trip or something, instead of like giving like kids money, like here's a ticket, it will cover your meal.
Yeah, it's like certificate vouchers. So
yeah.
It doesn't sound like the meal plans I hear are, I've never done it personally, but I hear like they're huge money savers. This doesn't sound like that. This sounds more like a preparedness type thing than anything. And I believe this is a test as well. Actually just ended recently, February 22nd.
Oh,
so
there you go.
but so we'll see. I mean, if it comes back, we'll know it was a successful test. I don't know. I'm trying to think if
I don't think I would ever.
I probably.
And you can it's only available, let me make sure. It's past now, but it was only available from 4 p.m. to close. So it was only...
No. The first meal had to be had before 4 p.m.
Oh, and then the
second
meal
had to be after 4 p.m.
So there's a designated time for the meals as well.
Yeah. The thing that I would say about this, maybe, I have this conversation with a lot of people. People always feel like theme park food is a complete ripoff. People are just like, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. The reality is, I feel I can get a full meal at a Disney park for like, I don't usually get a soda because I just drink water, but like between 10 and 12 bucks, I can get a pretty decent meal. I'm not talking even just burger and fries. Like the Mexican place at Disneyland, you can get like a great full meal there, or over at Paradise Pier at DCA. So I don't understand this complaint that people always have, but there is that legitimate thought that food is overpriced. So maybe people would look at that $29 and be like, that's a great deal. Like and automatically jump on it before they actually do the math. Maybe. I don't know. I'll be curious to see how this test turns out. Speaking of Cosmic Rays, though, Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe is under refurbishment at the moment, getting some renovations done. Are you scared for the future of our friend there?
I forgot his name.
Sonny Eclipse.
Sonny Eclipse, yes.
Are you scared? You think he's gonna go bye-bye?
No, I think people would riot.
Stitch is gonna replace him?
Oh no. Well, with Stitch's Great Escape closing.
Ugh. No,
or
no.
in seasonal phasing.
Yeah, seasonal phase and closing and being replaced by Wreck-It Ralph. But I think he's fine, but I will say when I first read this headline, my first thought was like, oh no, Sonny, I just discovered
I was like,
you,
but let's be
please."
honest, you didn't know about him until like this
I
past
didn't,
year.
but now I love him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I actually just found out his figure, his animatronic figure, is in Tokyo.
In the Star
Tours. Yeah, it's like his name is like Zix or something like that, and at the exit of Star Tours, it's basically a Sonny Eclipse animatronic with a different paint job, and voice. But yeah, no, I love Sonny Eclipse. There's something very stupidly charming about him. I just love that it's not an IP. I think that's what it really comes down to.
Well, yeah, he does like really corny jokes and he plays with piano.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
So don't mess with Sonny.
Yeah. Moving over to Disney Springs, we have a reopening of a old restaurant. That's a new restaurant, but it is the new Planet Hollywood. What are they calling it now? The Planet Hollywood Observatory.
We're obviously really hungry today. There's lots of food.
food.
So Planet Hollywood.
Starring Guy Fieri's menu.
Yeah, well, his burger menu, yeah. The LA lasagna is back. That's all that really matters. Have you had the LA lasagna?
No.
I love.
You always talk about it.
I love the LA
We get
lasagna.
it.
Are you gonna go get the LA
I don't
lasagna
know.
sometime?
Probably not. I wasn't a huge. I never went when it was just there anyway.
Yeah, I personally loved Planet Hollywood restaurants as a kid. They have lost their way to a point. Like they used to walk into a Planet Hollywood and know you were in a Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like they had a very specific look to them. First of all, there were very few of them left, but each of them kind of has its own look, in my opinion. Now it's very inconsistent, and as far as like the amount of memorabilia, those used to be restaurants where every inch was covered with like Hollywood memorabilia. Not so much anymore. So it's not, I don't know. I saw some video of the interior, and frankly, I didn't think it looked that much different from before.
Yeah, for me, like when I always saw Planet, I don't know about any other Planet Hollywood, but every time I was in downtown Disney, which is now Disney Springs, the Planet Hollywood was always that like blue with the stars and stuff.
I'm so upset.
Yeah, they painted it gray, and I thought that was like a temporary thing until they like repainted it again. But no, it was just gray now.
It looks terrible. At night when it's lit, it looks okay because I have like the blue lights.
I get it
on.
now. It's supposed to be like as observatory, and I guess observatory isn't like gray, but yeah, it's not very. It was just like. I miss the blue and stars and
I definitely miss that. I will say the Guy Fieri burgers, there's like a mac and cheese burger.
It's probably really good.
Looks pretty good.
And it looks like another hit over there. They're crazy milkshakes.
Oh, yeah.
They have a bunch of different milkshakes that look crazy. But to me, I still feel like the Twosome ones over Universal.
I was going to say, do you think this was a response? Because even the way that they're like, that they look.
Yeah.
Reminded me very much. What's the one at Universal called?
Chocolate Emporium.
Yeah.
Which I've actually had.
Me
and
too.
They're great.
They're pretty yummy.
Which one did you have?
It was a special of the day. It was actually went on National Chocolate Day.
Oh, they did have, they had a special one.
Yeah, so I had a special National Chocolate Day milkshake, which frankly, like, was way too big, and I ate way too fast. And listen, I was on vacation.
Why?
No regrets.
Nope.
No regrets.
But yeah, it looks like the same style of those like crazy milkshakes.
Yeah, so I really, for a like touristy restaurant, I really like the food at Planet Hollywood. Way better than Rainforest Cafe, better than Hard Rock in my opinion. I think the food at Planet Hollywood, LA lasagna. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know if I'll eat there. It seems like there's so many, like finally, like everything's like Disney Springs is like almost officially done. They actually,
I can't wait for that day to come.
Actually, Paddlefish just opened as well, which is that giant boat restaurant that lives on. It used to be the Crab House, I believe.
Yes.
But now Paddlefish is open, and that's more seafood and fun atmosphere. So like Disney Springs is like
it's a happening place.
it's like almost done.
I ate at Boathouse.
Yeah, Boathouse is really good.
That was
as
really
well.
good.
That is right next to where they launched the
the car boats.
car boats.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what do you think of the new paint job on what are characters in flight or the
Oh yeah.
This is weird. What's it officially called?
It's characters in
flight. Okay.
Unless they changed it. I don't know.
So the balloon used to be like a maroonish color with like
yellow
and with flying characters painted on it. Now it's like blue, but there are no characters on it, and it's called Characters in Flight.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused by that choice.
You're the characters in flight.
Oh, I'm the character?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like Snow White's Scary Adventures before they put Snow White in it and everybody was confused.
Yeah.
I'm officially confused.
There you go.
Yeah, so Planet Hollywood. The problem with Planet Hollywood is you can never get in.
Really?
I could never get in. Like, I would wait hours to get it. Oh, Planet Hollywood.
Oh, there's so many choices over at Disney Springs now, so like,
yeah,
I'm sure you can get into that one.
That's enough news for over on that side of the country. Let's head on over to Disneyland, where back in season 3, we announced how they're making an eastern gateway into the park. I guess another parking structure and this whole bridge over, I believe it's Harbor Boulevard, to get to the park.
I'm so excited about the parking structure.
Yeah, apparently there's some problems with this.
Uh-oh.
The locals are very upset about this. Apparently they're saying Disney's even doing some illegal stuff with this. Now, the complaint by the local businesses is that this will prevent walk-by business, which I guess they count on tremendously. And apparently there's a lot of laws about this. Like, Disney has deals. Actually, you want to know what I heard recently? Tell me if you've ever heard this. I have heard that Disney pays a fine every night that they shoot off fireworks because it is illegal to shoot off fireworks, and that like it's just a known thing. Like Disney's like,
I think I've heard of this.
This is insane to me. They're like, the city's like, okay, we recognize you bring us a ton of money, so shoot them off, but you're gonna have to pay the fine every time you do. And so Disney just pays the fine.
Yeah,
that's hilarious to me if that's actually true.
Let us know.
Let us know, yes, if you've heard that. But I heard from a cast member, so I mean,
I think I've heard that
it sounds
too,
plausible. I don't know. I would assume Florida's probably different, because it's like their own land. Yeah, but that's hilarious to me. So the local businesses are saying the walk-by traffic will go away, and this is a big problem. I know you were very excited about this.
Well, my thing is there's no parking structure over there anyway. So what is the walk-by traffic other than hotel guests who would just walk by there anyway? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I do get what you're saying. I don't know the exact geography of it, but according to them, it would affect them. And there's a lot of like terms as to what they would have to do. In fact, some people are saying like they would have to agree to advertise the local businesses on this bridge to Disneyland. So I don't know. I'd be surprised if Disney doesn't win. I mean, the city of Anaheim has to just recognize and accept the fact that Disney basically runs it. Yeah. Like, they bring in way too much money not to get their way. And it was also brought into the fact, the conversation that, you know, they've kept their deal with no taxes on Disney park tickets. And now, they just feel like they're being abused by Disney.
I was going to say, maybe they can just build it where, is it Pumbaa is, but then that's where they're building the new hotel.
The new hotel, yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. Patrick was looking very forward to trying that gate, even though he would never park there because it was on the other side of the freeway.
But I was just thinking maybe making friends will lessen out. Then I don't know.
Well, that'd be great. I would like that.
But moving way over to Hong Kong. There's a ride that opened fairly recently, within the past couple of months, called the Iron Man Experience.
Yes.
Pretty exciting stuff because it's the first initiation of Marvel rides.
Yeah.
Before we get Guardians over here, but over in the overseas parks.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I know the ride.
It's Star Tours.
It's Star Tours, which is unfortunate. Did it replace Star Tours, or was this built from the ground up?
I don't think so.
Okay, then that's.
However, I've never been to Hong Kong.
I kind of hope it replaced Star Tours. Otherwise, I'm like, why did you build the same exact ride?
Yeah. But then I think of Transformers and Spider-Man. I'm like, I would ride both of them, and they're kind of the same.
Yeah, for sure. I get that. But I don't know.
It's like riding...
like, Star Tours is...
Little Mermaid and Haunted Mansion.
But Star Tours is like 1986 technology. Come on, we're Disney. We're a little better than that.
I'm very looking forward to seeing the Finding Dory ride over in Tokyo Disney Sea.
And that is a retheming.
Yes, of
Journey to the Center.
No,
not that. Sorry.
Heck no.
Sorry.
Storm Rider.
Okay.
Storm Rider.
I'll believe you.
Which I rode before it closed, and that was it was a moving theater with it almost reminded me of Twister, but sitting, where like
Don't say that to me. That
but
hurts
it was
too much.
But it was a screen, and you would see like a pole on the screen, but then it would like come through the ceiling of the ride, so an actual pole would come through.
Oh, okay.
It was cool.
Twister.
So I'm very interested to see how they pull that off with Finding Dory.
Yeah. Back to Hong Kong.
But I was saying because it's kind of similar to like Star Tours with a screen, but also physical elements to it. So I feel like almost that is an updated Star Tours. So that's what maybe they should have went with.
Yeah.
But,
I watched the full ride through. It's just Star Tours with Iron Man. I give them props. The cool thing is that like I love the whole expo idea of Tomorrowland. So when you're flying away on the ride, you start in Hong Kong Disneyland, go into Hong Kong, the city, and then end up at, I don't know, some Marvel place. I don't know. It didn't rock my world. Here's the thing I'm having a really hard time accepting. For some reason,
tell us.
Just seeing the Marvel characters in the Disney parks is weirding me out. Like, I kind of just want them to build a Marvel park. That way they can just, like, be in their place.
Does it weird you out to see Star Wars characters?
Less so. Partially because I grew up with it. Like, I grew up with Star Wars.
I think it's just
characters.
a bias of you then.
Partially, perhaps, but I also grew up with Star Wars in the parks. Like, I don't know. There's something I just don't like Marvel.
Oh. Well, then this is just a bias thing.
I don't know. It weirds me out.
You did mention that this is the first time we're also seeing a meet and greet character for Iron Man as well. Mm-hmm. So that's what they got. But I guess we'll see how Guardians works out for.
I am looking forward to that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm looking forward to Mission Breakout. That thing is ugly right now. Yeah. I was in the park the other day and I literally like turned the corner and saw the old Tower of Terror covered in one of the screens and what's scaffolding, scaffolding and scrim, and it just looked like a David Copperfield illusion to me. Where like he drapes a giant drape over a building and then it's gonna drop and the building has disappeared. Like that's what it looks like.
Well, it's gonna drop and it's gonna be a brand new building.
Yeah, I guess so. Apparently the exterior's pretty well on its way.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. How excited are you? Like, how long will you wait in line?
Well, we went over our top 3 of the year and it's not in there. So.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's fair. By the way, totally off subject matter. You know what I've been hearing about this Max Pass thing for annual pass holders?
Oh, yeah.
The rumor is...
It's probably not going well.
Rumor is if you are the top level, so... What is it, the Signature Plus? The people who get the 2 weeks of Christmas, it's free. I'm hearing below that, $299. $299 for the year.
Oh, for the year.
Yeah.
I thought you said they dropped the daily price to $299.
Oh, no. $299 for the
I was like, I might try it for $3 just to try it.
I will not pay $299.
Oh, no.
No, that's totally off.
Like, I do want to, like, kind of buy a daily just to, like, see the interface and, like, whatever.
Here's my thing. Even if I were to buy it, the chances are of me being in the park with a friend who also has is pretty slim to none. So that's like a kind of huge problem.
Unless you're only friends with crazy Signature Plus people.
I guess so, but I think it's more likely it's
not that you're crazy.
Yeah, little.
Unless you have a passport, then that kind of makes sense if you jump between both. Because
maybe, but I don't know. It's it makes more sense for families than locals. But yeah, I heard that. Whether or not that price is true, I don't know. But I'm hearing $299, which is a bit steep in my opinion. But they don't really care what I think about that.
No.
Now, this next thing is definitely not repeating any technology. This is brand spanking new technology.
Creepy technology.
Creepy technology. Disney once again has a patent out on this, which means we may never see the light of day. But they are testing ways of recognizing guests' emotions while on attractions in order to fit the ride more to their liking. So in other words, if I'm on a ride and I'm looking a little ill, like I'm going to vomit, they might make it a bit tamer for me. This is kind of interesting. They describe it as sensing and managing vehicle behavior based on occupant awareness. It'll use facial recognition and established preferences to customize attractions. So that's cool and interesting too. So basically you could, my guess is through a magic band or something like that, you would have settings saying, hey, I don't like it when things get too rough. And
I don't like this.
well, how does it work if it's an entire ride vehicle? Like, let's take Indiana Jones. I could be like, I want the wuss version. You're like, I want extreme.
Exactly.
Like,
I was gonna say, if I ride Star Tours and I look ill, am I gonna like suffer the whole ride because someone looks ill? No, don't get on the ride.
yeah, I would agree with you there. Like we said, it's a patent. Who knows how this will be used? But it is definitely stepping into that creepy, creepy Big Brother stuff again.
Put your money somewhere better.
I think it's interesting. I don't know.
Some of the theme parks are just going into weirder and weirder. I think we talked about it before with Universal's facial express pass.
I don't know if we talked about it here, but we explain that. This is for
the Universal. They put a patent in where if you have an express pass where which you pay extra for at a Universal park to skip the front of the lines, you won't have to show your express pass anymore. There'll be a facial scanner that's like, oh, they know you have an express pass. You just keep walking and get like a green light, I guess.
People are upset about giving their fingerprints.
I was like, let me tell you how this 5 seconds will change my day. But whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, it's getting into creepy technology.
There's a lot of push. I think with all parks right now for virtual queues everywhere.
Yeah, which I think is a good way to go. I think that's the next step. I mean, that's always been listen. The fact is, as customers, we don't like waiting in line. And they're losing money when we're waiting in line. We're not shopping. We're not spending money on food. So if we're not in line, it actually benefits them as well.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense that they're going to try and figure out a way to make it easier for us to go do something else instead of wait in a queue. I'm excited to see how that technology works out. It definitely seems like the two big players, Disney and Universal, are trying different things. I'm excited. I think that this is great, personally. I don't know.
Yeah. And then since there's been so much news over the past weeks, we haven't gotten to talk about the Super Bowl that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yay, my team won. Because everybody knows I love football.
Woo.
I don't love football.
Well, I was rooting for the new movie trailers that came out. So I was excited for those. And we got Disney released a more extended look at Guardians Volume 2, as well as Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man Tell No Tales. Guardians was the first one that played. You're not a big Marvel fan.
I do enjoy Guardians,
but
though.
Yeah, I think it looks great. The more I see of it, the more excited I am. I'm very interested to see in the trailer they kind of debut Yondu and Nebula, who weren't exactly good guys in the first one, as part of the team now, as well as the new character of Mantis.
I gotta tell you, I gotta watch the original again. It's really, my brain doesn't wrap around. It doesn't remember superhero movies. Yeah, it doesn't remember them. I need to see the first one again because those names you just said mean nothing to me.
Oh. Well, yes. So it looks like Nebula and Yondu are now part of the team, which is like okay. But of course, everyone's number one thing for Guardians 2 is Baby Groot.
Baby Groot. I hope Baby Groot never grows up. I'm going to tell you, if by the end of the movie Baby Groot is adult Groot again, there's going to be a lot of angry people. Baby Groot is the cutest CG character possibly ever created.
Baby Groot.
I love Baby Groot. Yeah. And I'm curious. If you wake up and you're Chris Pratt and you look in the mirror, are you just like, dude, I'm awesome? Like, do you think he just thinks, dude, I'm awesome? Because if I were Chris Pratt, that's how I'd wake up.
I wake up and I'm like, I'm hungry. And that's how I wake up.
It's usually how I wake up too. Chris Pratt, craziness. But to be honest, and we all know I enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't enjoy the Pirates of the Caribbean movies so much.
Unless the first one.
The first one, sure.
First one is great. First one is the beginning of Disney live action greatness.
I loved it when it came out. Now I don't really have it.
Holds up. It's great.
I think the trailer for Dead Man Tells No Tales was actually more interesting than the Guardians trailer.
Really?
Yeah, I probably won't see Pirates Dead Men Tell No Tales. It's just too many of them, and they're always like way too long. But what a cool trailer.
I used to this random Johnny Cash song. For the
Yeah, I don't
trailer.
know I don't know what the song was.
I was just like, oh, okay. I guess we're going there. Which is very weird because similarly,
Similarly?
yeah, that word. Another studio, Fox, released a trailer with a Johnny Cash song as well. And I'm like,
Oh.
you're really going to follow it up with...
Maybe the library's free for some reason.
I don't know. But it looks interesting. The effects look really cool.
Yeah.
Again, they're using Johnny Depp sparingly. He's in it for like the last 2 seconds.
Yeah, which I think is smart.
There was one very fast clip of Orlando Bloom. So yeah, I maybe if I go to a free screening, I'll see it, but I probably won't pay for it.
It looks better than the last several I've seen. So
The last 3.
yeah,
The first one was great.
the first one was very good. I
First
like
one's
it.
great.
Yeah, I got it on DVD. No complaints here. Speaking of movie trailers, though, sorry, I have to for a moment. Let's just talk about the fact that Beauty and the Beast ticket sales, advanced ticket sales, are like superhero movie ticket sales. Like they're through the roof.
Yeah, what I believe, not. This is way back when the first teaser trailer for Beauty and the Beast came out. It was the highest viewed trailer
Yes.
in 24 hours over Force Awakens.
Yeah,
So it doesn't surprise me.
this is awesome.
I will tell you that I bought my ticket already.
I have not yet, but I will.
IMAX Thursday night.
I'm gonna do El Capitan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, not opening night?
No.
Opening night's gone.
No, I'm not gonna do opening night because a Thursday night after work, like, although it'd be like nice.
Although they
kinda
are
like-
doing the first showing, like 6 p.m. is that fan event. It's
Okay.
like $35 and whatnot.
Here's something that disappoints me when it comes to that. I looked at that and I was like, nope, no, thank you, because lately Disney's special events have not been worth the money. And that makes me so sad because I feel like there was a time where it'd be like $35 for a special event. Like Disney throws awesome special events and I'd go for it and I'd have a blast. These days I just don't trust it.
Well, the thing is, they're doing it around like all the theaters. However, I feel like El Cap maybe have extra stuff.
the reason I'm going to the El Cap is for the pre-show. They have like
doing
this,
an awesome pre-show,
like a projection thing, and it sounds really
with
cool.
the score and
Oh.
like we all know just hearing the score plus laser projection would be
So I'm excited
super cool.
for that. But yeah, I actually had that thought when I heard about this special event. I was like, I don't know. It's not a guarantee that it's going to be all that special.
Yeah.
And that made me so sad for Disney. I was like, there was a time where it would always be super special.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is like, so all these fan events are like the first showing, so I have to go to the second showing at like 9 p.m. But whatever.
That's okay.
Whatever.
No worries. It's going to be great. Patrick, that was a ton of Disney news.
As always.
But guess what?
There's even more.
There's even more. I've saved the best stuff for last. Did you hear that Bob Iger might be renewing his contract?
I mean, it's like not surprised.
I actually am a little surprised. I
Yeah?
felt like he was at that, he's like, I'm ready to retire type of age. And I don't know. I mean, the predecessor, we still don't know who it will be or might be. But he basically said if the studio asks him to stay, he will. So God knows how long that will be for. I don't know, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
He's done a lot for the company. He's made a lot of money for the company, that's
yeah.
for sure. And I don't know. How do you feel about it if he does stay?
I mean, I like Iger. I don't dislike him. But I'd want to know. I'd have to know who the other person would be.
Do you have a wish list person?
I think we talked about this before, like John Lasseter.
Yeah. Well, I'm very diehard. Like, I want two people. I want a Walt and a Roy. I would love to see Lasseter and Kathleen Kennedy. Like,
Oh my God.
that is the dream team. What that would mean for Walt Disney Animation, Pixar, and Lucasfilm, I don't really know. So that's a little scary to think of. But yeah, I don't know. If Bob Iger, look, the company needs to be handed to somebody who knows what they're doing. It would be really sad to build it up to what it's become in the last 5 years even, and have that implode on itself.
Yeah.
We don't need the 80s all over again. That's for certain. But what else is going on?
Oh, well, we've come to that point where we've reached the annual price increase for the parks.
The price surge has commenced. Yes.
It looks like, again, not too bad. Like, I think we're looking with like $5 or so between one-day parks, like a 10 or 20 between the annual passes. But I noticed they only, at least for California, they only touch the lower annual passes.
Yeah.
So the upper Signature Plus, the passports are still the same price.
Yeah, so this is actually, listen, I acknowledge and recognize these prices can't stay the same forever. They do need to be raised, and I accept that. What they did this year, very acceptable in my opinion. For the last few years, there've been like large percentage increases.
Oh, yeah.
So this was actually a delight, and we'd heard the rumors. I'd actually heard they were going to get rid of the payment plan, which they did not. I do feel like if they wanted to fix attendance, that still was the best route to go, but they didn't. But yeah, as you said, only a few dollars. Walt Disney World, like the one-day parks that were $97 are now $99. What was $102 is now $107. What was $114 is now $119. Magic Kingdom, of course, slightly higher, but not bad. The Walt Disney World Gold Pass increased $10. The Platinum up $30. Still not terrible. For us, just the lower levels. So it works for me. I'm not complaining. And
hopefully it's the only one this year. What was it? 2 years ago they did one in the fall, the spring, and then in the fall.
But didn't they announce? I feel like the last one was less than a year ago. I'm pretty sure that we had a major increase.
Oh yeah, it's usually around like March, April.
Yeah, March, April. It does seem to get slightly earlier every time, but yeah, no, it's. I honestly, I've been saying, I don't know how much higher they can go on those top ticket things without completely getting rid of people.
Well, you can also reach the point where, like, you're going to up the ticket price, but, like, you're going to have to offer us something more. Like, I get it if you're going to up it when Star Wars Land comes, obviously, but upping it right now.
Yeah, I do feel like even the... What's our pass called? The Disney Signature, and then the Signature Plus. So the Signature Plus is still just 2 weeks at Christmas that you get. I've heard, and I think we've discussed slightly, that I think they're going to get the Max Pass for free, which I think they should. And I do think eventually we're going to start seeing other holidays like 4th of July creep in there as being like them only. So we'll see. But for now, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that. What else is going on? Something premiered that
finally
we've been waiting a very long time for. Rivers of Light at Disney's Animal Kingdom has finally officially opened. It kind of came a little bit, out of the blue, but of course we've been waiting for a long time. It seems like they kind of didn't want to build it up this time.
Yeah.
Just in case they had to open and then close again quickly. But I watched it, and I gotta tell you, I've heard some really mean things said about it. I don't think it's bad. What do you think?
It's definitely not what I was wanting or expecting. So I think...
What were you expecting?
I don't know. From just like reading it way back when, and it was on my top like list from last year. I wanted this like spectacular. I still think World of Color is better. But I just wanted, I don't know what I was expecting, but they built it up, and then I lost my interest, and then like I still don't care about it. I think I just don't care about it anymore.
Well, yeah, it's they've teased us too long. Yeah. We've lost interest, and I get that. I do want to say some things I really liked about it, just because I've seen a lot of hate on the internet for it. First of all, I love the fact that it's not all IPs and franchises. I think that's great. I think it's wonderful. I hope they stick with that. Of course, FastPass Plus and dining packages are available for it. But there's these. I love the fact that there are live performers. The boats that come out, I think, are actually really beautiful. They do some nice work with the silhouettes of the performers on the sail of the boat, which I always think is great, because you're so far away as an audience member that seeing the performer is often difficult. But when they, have large silhouettes, it really shows what they're trying to say. They used to do it in Fantasmic with Maleficent. No, with the Snow White Queen. And they got rid of it, and it always bummed me out. I was like, that was such a... Remember when they'd shine, when she would come out at first, and they'd shine her large silhouette up against the building? And they stopped doing that. And I was like, I don't know why they made the decision to get rid of that, but it's so great. What else? First of all, did you watch this on YouTube, obviously. Did you see some videos that like had to cut out some of the soundtrack?
Yeah, they were getting major copyright.
Yeah, but what's the issue? Because the video I was watching said, select musical portions of this show had to be silenced as per copyright requirements from Universal Media Group. So what copyrighted music are they using from Universal Media Group?
No, Universal Media Group is just like the general... basically, they wanted to... whoever uploaded it wanted to gain revenue from the video. So to do that, they took out the music. Or else it would have been not...
Okay, so there are some videos out there with all of the music. They just can't...
They're just not making money.
But I mean, but that's very weird because all of Disney's shows, I feel like, would have to do that.
Oh, yeah.
This is the only one I've seen actually do it. I don't know. It was weird. I'm not used to seeing that, but so I saw some of it in silence. I will say I think that the animal statues are beautiful, and I think that the floating flowers. I don't know if you noticed this in the video, but they have their own mist screens and projectors on them, which I thought was nice. So like there are some nice touches on this that we haven't seen in other things. What was so difficult to do technology-wise? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Unless it was. Are those things officially
GPS.
run GPS? Put drivers in them, make them boats.
Yeah.
Like that would have been my reply months ago when they had problems. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. Is it a show I would run to all the time? No, but neither is World of Color, honestly. I run to World of Color when they have a new version of it. So I'm happy for them. Congratulations, it's open.
Well, another new show that is coming over to the Walt Disney World Resort is our Magic Kingdom. Unfortunately, we are losing the Wishes fireworks show, but it's been there for about 14 years now.
2003. Yeah.
So we're gonna get a new fireworks show called Happily Ever After.
Yay.
Sounds like a normal fireworks show.
Yeah. Of course, this will use projection and pyrotechnics and new
Did you
music.
see the behind the scenes video?
No,
No. I think Disney Parks released a behind the scenes video about just like telling what it's gonna be about. I'd be really surprised because in the video I just saw a lot of Ursula, like a ton of Ursula.
That's good news.
But they showed some of the inside the scoring stage in London, and like the music sounds really cool.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty excited about it.
So
It's very original music, but it's like the Disney music you'd expect.
There's a little thing that made me nervous where I read on the Disney Park blogs, they said contemporary versions of popular Disney songs. Contemporary versions makes me a little scared. We'll see. I'm not going to hold judgment until I see it. But the lineup is quite interesting. All the films that they mention are Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Frozen, Lion King, Little Mermaid, Moana, Peter Pan, Princess and the Frog, Toy Story. So everything there that's mentioned is actually like from Disney Renaissance forward, except for Peter Pan.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Tell me if this is just me. I always find it weird when they have a bunch of... most people probably don't think about this, but they have a bunch of Walt Disney Animation, and then they throw in like one Pixar. Does that weird you out?
I mean, I view it all as Disney. Like, a lot of people just view it as Disney.
Yeah, I wish I did. I don't. I very much separate Walt Disney Animation and Disney Pixar in my mind. I'd be curious to know if other people do. Leave a comment. Let us know. But yeah, it's going to be an 18-minute show opening in May, which means Wishes is closing in May. A lot of people love Wishes. I never had that emotional connection to it that a lot of people did.
I mean, I loved Wishes, too. It's just, I'm ready for a new...
Now, you have experienced both of these quite a bit. Do you prefer Wishes or Remember?
I mean, I love Remember.
Remember, yeah.
I wish this is a good, like, just Disney general, like, but Remember's, like, a great theme, like, Disneyland theme park fireworks show.
Okay, well, to all of you who love Wishes, I hope you get to see it again before it ends, and I'm sure we'll all be very happy. Well, there'll be a happily ever after.
I'm interested to see if they keep Tinkerbell. Or what they're gonna do.
Oh, never even thought of that.
Yeah, we might lose a clothesline.
Oh, no, they gotta keep Tinkerbell, right? If they do that to save money, that would drive me crazy. Oh, maybe they'll put in a new rigging system like...
Peter Pan.
Okay, I'd be okay with that. Like, as long as somebody flies.
Someone has to
fly. So maybe that is why Peter Pan's there. That'd be actually great. I don't think Peter Pan's ever flown for a fireworks show.
I'll do it. I volunteer.
Take the money. Don't volunteer for it.
Okay. I'll take the money.
What else is happening? Pandora, the world of Avatar, once again opening in May.
A lot of May opening.
May is the time to go. Well, actually, May is not the time.
Pre-summer.
Go like first week of June. But yeah, Pandora is opening. Feels like that's another thing that had been announced for a long time. But I believe on schedule, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's summer 2017. So I was expecting like midsummer. So.
Yeah, so have you seen like the leaked photo of the Banshee ride?
Yes.
So there's a photo floating around of looks like each rider or maybe a few riders ride giant animatronic banshees.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is we could have used this technology for a Bumblebee Honey, I Shrunk the Kids ride.
No.
I would have been very happy to fly in the back of a Bumblebee.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think we're okay.
No.
But yeah, apparently these they're banshees, and apparently you'll feel them like flap their wings and like breathe and stuff. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It's a nice little new twist on the attraction, but they did create a fake website. Basically, the story behind the Pandora is you're visiting through the Alpha Centauri Experience. It's a touring company. And so they've built a fake website, and they have a fake Instagram and Twitter account to develop the story. And, it's cool. I'm still not like... Obviously, I'll go and see it next time I'm there, but not like counting down the hours or anything.
I think I'm going to plan a trip just for like everything. It's just like just part of everything, like new fireworks show, new land.
If I do, I would probably do like October to do horror nights and all that stuff. But yeah, exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, but speaking of more exciting stuff,
what else? What else could there be?
More stuff. We have a year for what I'm sure everyone's waiting for. At least I am. Star Wars Land.
Yes.
And not only at Disneyland, but both coasts will be opening in 2019. I still feel like Disneyland's might open earlier.
I think so, yeah.
Just because the construction is motoring.
At first, I thought to myself, how great would it be if they both opened on like May the 4th, 2019. I don't think they'd do that though, because the press between the two would be way too difficult. Yeah. But it'd be great if one of them opened it on May the 4th.
Yeah, my only thing now is like, okay, we have a year, but it's going to be like December 2019, which would also make sense because that's when all the Star Wars movies comes out. And by that time, episode 9 will be coming out.
It'll be right before summer.
I know.
If it were pushed to the end of 2019, that means they were having problems, in my opinion. I would think they're trying to get it out before summer. And that's going to be a hellish summer in the parks. Oh my goodness. For the first time in a long time, Disney Hollywood Studios will be packed. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting.
I'm like very looking forward to the land, but like not looking forward to the summer of 2019. It could be, we don't know summer. This is just rumor.
2019 is the year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Now I just want to know what the official name of it's going to be.
Yeah,
because
and I'm hoping that 2019 will also be a D23 year, but I'm hoping
we're gonna get all of the information. Listen, I will be shocked if we don't get a date or at least a month. Well, let me say at least a season. I'll be surprised if we don't get at least a season at D23, an official name at D23, as well as a full-scale model at D23. I will be very surprised if we don't get those three things. So I'm excited, and it really, it's far off, but it doesn't sound that far off.
I know.
And finally, one other thing is Beauty and the Beast is getting a stage production on Disney Cruise Line, on the Disney Dream, in fact, starting November 6th. Man, Beauty and the Beast is just taking full advantage of this live-action film. Seems to be going everywhere.
But it's great, because it seems like every ship has their own, like, flagship main musical. Yeah, Frozen, Tangled, Beauty and the Beast. What is on the other one?
I don't know. We need a princess in the... Oh, Aladdin, yeah. Mm-hmm. Aladdin's out there. Although, does Aladdin share it with Tangled? No. No. Yeah, so Aladdin's on one of them. So yeah, I'm all for new shows on the ships, and it is really interesting though. Like, 1991, man. We're going back to 1991 to get this. That was an amazing time in Disney animation.
Yep.
I don't know if we'll ever reach that again. I don't know. Some people might argue we are in it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, but that's the nostalgia talking. Anyway, that was so much news this week. Anything you want to add before we get going here?
There's so much.
Okay. Well, if we're done with the news, that means
It's trivia time!
Hey folks, I have Kyle Burbank here with me today for Trivia Time from laughingplace.com, a place you can go for all the latest Disney news. Hello, Kyle.
Hey,
How's it going?
that was the goofiest wave.
It's all good. It's fine. Half the people are only listening, so they don't even see your goofy
That's
wave.
true.
It's all good. Well, we got some trivia today about Spectromagic, a parade at Walt Disney World that is near and dear to my heart. I love it so much. How many did you've seen it, right?
I mean, I may have. I would have been less than 8 years old.
Okay.
But unfortunately, when I started, I think my first trip in maybe 15 years back to Walt Disney World was when it was in 2009. So I also went during, my favorite time was to go in fall. So unfortunately, they didn't really run it then. So if I did see it, I was very little.
Gotcha. Well, let's do some trivia about it. Do you want to ask me first, or shall I ask you?
I'll go with you first. So I'm sure there's plenty of changes, but one of the changes is that the genie was added. Do you know which character Genie replaced when he joined?
I'm gonna guess Goofy.
No.
Oh, crud. I was thinking because he's on the whole, like the jazz band section, right? And I could totally picture Goofy conducting that. Let me try one more. Was it like a core Disney figure, or was it like...
No, it's not core. I'll give you the hint that it's somewhat related to Goofy, slightly, and maybe it'll make sense after you get it.
Somewhat related to Goofy, so maybe someone from a Goofy movie?
Not like actually related, but just like I could make a connection.
Roger Rabbit?
Yes.
Oh, boom! Nice. I get you. They got the same.
Yeah, they're both Toontown.
They got the same physical qualities, I would say, as far as the way that their body moves and such.
They both are lowercase Goofy.
Yes, true. Yeah, that's Roger Rabbit. I like that. Oh, I don't think I ever saw Roger do it. Only Genie. But cool. Well, I got a trivia question for you. This is a dates trivia game, simply because while doing research for this trivia question, I was actually very surprised at how long Spectromagic ran. I thought it was a much shorter run than this. I remember loving it, but I think I only ever saw it twice in my life. And so I'm just wondering, do you know the run dates of Spectromagic at the Magic Kingdom? Or, I've got specific dates, but if you can give me years, there were actually 2 runs of it. So when do you think it opened?
Oh, wow. Maybe 94?
No, a little earlier.
Okay, 93? 2? 1?
91.
Okay,
1991. Pick a date, and this is a date very specific to the Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World.
October 1st?
Yes, October 1st, 1991. So that would have been the 20th anniversary of Walt Disney World. Spectromagic premiered at the Magic Kingdom, and it ended its run in what year, do you think?
It was either 9 or 10. I'm going to say 10.
10 what?
2010?
Oh.
Is that right?
Okay, so yes, it completely went away in 2010, but it actually ended its first run in 1999, May 21st, 1999. And then it came back. So after 99, do you know when it came back and then finally ended in 2010?
No.
Okay, so it took a couple years hiatus and came back in 2001. So originally, October 1st, 1991 to May 21st, 1999. So that was a good 8-year run there. And then April 2nd, 2001 to June 5th, 2010. So that was like another 9 years. The show had a 17-year run. I had no idea that this show ran for so long.
Yeah, because, you kind of think of it as, because was that the direct replacement because they had the Electrical Parade before that, right?
I believe so. I'm not 1,000% certain, but yeah, I believe they had the Main Street Electrical Parade, and then it was replaced by Spectromagic, and then once again...
Because that's kind of, a direct opposite of Disneyland, where that replacement went away very quickly. So
Yeah. So
that could be causing some of the confusion.
I loved Spectrum Magic. I just remember seeing it I think literally twice at the Magic Kingdom. So for me, it had a short life, and I wasn't like super aware of it for a long time. I knew the Main Street Electrical Parade, and then one time I was in Florida as a kid, and it was like, oh, there's this parade, Spectrum Magic. We'll have to see this, and I absolutely loved it, like so much more than the Main Street Electrical Parade. So I'm happy to hear it had a nice long life, even though it is officially dead. Apparently, the floats were left to fall apart backstage. They were not cared for. And because of that, it will never come back. Although some pieces were salvaged, and apparently Sebastian, I think, from Spectrum Magic is actually in Festival of Fantasy right now. That's what I understand. That's what I've heard. So yeah.
Yeah, it kind of had a very sad ending there where, people always assumed it was going to return. And then only like so many years later, like 5 or 6 years later, was when this news came out that those floats aren't looking so good.
Yeah, I think it was, I believe I read 2013. So 3 years after the parade ended, I think is when the company officially said, you know what, they've fallen apart. We have taken them apart and salvaged what we could, but it ain't coming back. So
I don't even remember hearing about it that early, but I guess it's possible that internally that happened.
Maybe. I think that's what I read. I could be mistaken. Thank you so much, Kyle, for joining us for today's trivia time. Once again, you can see Kyle's work at laughingplace.com. Thanks a bunch, Kyle.
Thanks for having me.
Excellent, guys. Hope you enjoyed trivia time. I do want to give a few shout-outs before we get going. Of course, these lovely folks have left 5-star written reviews on iTunes. Tech Dude 101.
101.
What's up, Tech Dude 101? Thank you so much. Sam Jones 1005.
1005.
I know, I love the numbers. I'm going to assume Sam Jones was born on October 5th. Do you think that's a fair guess?
Or January 5th.
Maybe, but that'd be a little weird.
This
But
is very proper.
yeah. Stephanie Upton. Thank you so much. Nope, just Stephanie Upton. And a real name. Can you believe that?
Wow.
And Princess Rhine.
407.
No.
Nope.
But we can 407. Isn't that like the Disney phone area code?
I think that's
I
the
think
Orlando
you call
area
when you call Walt Disney World, the area code is
That's why
407.
it just pops in my head. See, should have been 407.
Boom. Well, thank you to all of you for leaving a 5-star written review on iTunes. If you want to shout out on the show, it is that simple. Go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star written review.
Do it.
I think that's going to do it for us this week. Right?
That's it.
Thank you so much for joining. We'll be back with some more magic next week. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.